on people? OG back on the screen, bringing y'all the best news, the best breakdowns, keeping it real 100% with y'all. I know this is 2K and they're promoting their new game, so some people may think I'm just riding the puppy dog stage hype, just like in real life relationships and just real life reality. I realize the puppy dog stage is not important. It is important, but it's not important enough to cling to where that's the only thing you cling to, and the puppy dog stage always comes to an end. And things start getting to a new comfortable form, and you can create how that comfortable form is. It can still be happy and still be lit or still be, but it just depends. That's universal right there. Alright, now somebody asked him this: is rhythm shooting with the right stick going to have a bigger green window than just regular butting shooting? Can we get a comparison between the two? There's a new system in the game called rhythm shooting, and then they have a new dribbling system. We're going to talk about the new dribbling system in a separate video so we can keep this all structured. But we're talking about rhythm shooting. Some people may think that's nothing, but we have to give them at least the courtesy to go off their words. We know 2K always puts in a lot of big words and it makes us like, oh, but that's kind of simple. It's like, okay, they're focused more on having players shoot rhythm shots. Now, what does that mean? We're going to be seeing more. Oh shit. Now, what does that mean? That means we're going to be shooting more shots off the rhythm. Rhythm shooting, not just you shooting a shot where it's like, not saying that catch and shoot's not going to be important. Even a catch and shoot rhythm shot, those are all types of shots. Like, that's a real thing. You know what I mean? That's not something that's like not real. But when you look at 2K now, you look at how everybody play now, it's a meta. It's the same way. You don't see people trying to take those shots because 2K hasn't made the mechanics to justify it yet. Why not play the meta if everybody winning in the meta way, right? So he says they really can't be, they can't really be compared because they work very differently, because rhythm shooting takes more skill to master. There is much higher upside for making shots, so if you're a comp, you should definitely try to master rhythm shooting. He says this every year. I'm sorry, Mike. This is one thing that I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all on. He say this shit every year. He said this about, I forgot what he said that was gonna be skill. Like if you're comp and you start to use this, it'll set you apart from other players. And no, nobody gonna be using this unless it's a what do they call, like unless you're unique and you're an individual and you want to say, I want to just use the rhythm shooting. I look at this like this could be something maybe the Zen players could get their hands on. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But rhythm shooting, and when they showed us it's that simple. The player has a certain jump shot, and then you just down and up, and it's a timing system. But I feel like nobody going to use that unless he gives us full detail that it's important in some type of area, which he not doing. He's just saying you really can't compare them. That's just like saying somebody who wants to use the meter and somebody who don't want to use the meter. That's the same thing. That is the same thing. Some players would be like they're better than shooting with a player that takes his meter off. Man, it's always that yin and yang. So I always try to tell people, like, if he's not coming out directly saying yes, it's a bigger window, it's a bigger gap, he doesn't even know himself. When has Mike Wynn ever showed us that he's comp? I told you I'm not switching up this year because 2K is all hype and stuff. When has ever Mike Wynn came out and showed us he could be comp to know which works better? That's why he can't answer you that question. Like, I understand knowledge shit. When you haven't been through certain experiences, you can't really speak on it. You can in certain ways, but it depends how you do it. He's not being straight direct, so it lets me know. He's not just saying. He just said you really can't compare him. Because he know it could be a player who try to shoot with his meter off. He's not that great. It could be a guy who turns his meter on. It could be a guy who uses this shot stick thing who's a little bit better. Like, it's just your own personal comfortability. Also want to mention that rhythm shooting is always on and always optional. You can shoot exactly the same way you did last year, but if the system detects you've deflected the pro stick in the opposite direction of the first hold, it will evaluate it as a rhythm shot. What? So look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. We go over to the second clip. Look at this shit. Oh my God. See, I'm breaking through their words this year. I'm not getting myself too psyched up. But I know that they are trying to implement different things. So now this is a whole breakdown right here segment of the courtside report of Mike Wayne talking about the game, and this is real footage of the game. Don't get it twisted. Don't think this is like some old 24 footage. No, this is the real footage they're showing us here. Right?
Say a player wants to recreate moves from their favorite NBA superstar. How does Pro Stick Rhythm Shooting do that?
Yeah, so Pro Stick Rhythm Shooting is probably one of my favorite features of the game because it's just a new way to play, new way to shoot. So in the
his favorite? Where did he say this at? Let me see. Watch this. Personally, I bounce back and forth between normal and rhythm shooting constantly. Rhythm for standing J's, post shots, some pull-ups, but for a lot of shots, I just release the stick back to the center like last year. So Mike Wayne is basically saying he's like he's a guy that, oh my god, I just broke this shit down. I'm still gonna be shooting with square, I can see it now. Basically, rhythm shooting is like if you're dribbling with their new dribbling system, it probably will be beneficial and could be in some way. That's until somebody breaks it out and shows it how. Until now, no, it's just like how any other system, when the shot stick timer was how it was back then. People used it, some people didn't, some people don't. And Mike Wayne regularly uses the shot stick timing, so he don't like to shoot with square. Mike, he don't even like to shoot with square. You know, personally, I bounce back and forth between normal and rhythm. What is he saying? So normal, you can shoot with the normal shot timing, meaning he can use his shot stick still, because he's still saying he uses his shot stick, because he says, I just released the stick back to the center like last year. Rhythm shooting is more, you have to do it on point with your player's jump shot. And there's a setting that you could turn off, because he was talking about turning it. He was talking about when you have it turned on and the game detects it, and if you move your stick a certain way, it'll detect it as a rhythm shot. So that's a whole new like little animation thing put in. That's not even that big. Damn. Not even that big. Ah, Mike. I'm thinking rhythm shooting more about the beat. It's just a system to where when you're doing your dribble moves, you can go into a shot, rhythm shooting, and then go down and up into your moves. So it's kind of like an in-sync thing. If somebody gets nice with it, I feel like 2K's trying to change the way we shoot, y'all. I always say this, man. Oh my god. See, I'm glad I put on my real lens and I didn't come here with y'all with the halfway lens. You know what I mean? Just being psyched up off the game, psyched up off the words. Let me show y'all something real quick. Come back to the rhythm shooting clip. Damn. See, look, I'm gonna show y'all real quick. It's so simple. Let's say I go to my game, I turn rhythm shooting on. Ting! Then now when I'm using this shot stick and when I'm shooting, if depending on how I move, depending on when I release and do it, is that rhythm shooter setting activates. That's so dumb. I thought it was more so like they just loosened up certain controls so out of combos you could shoot, but you always could do that still in 2K. And I could, it probably is. Let me not even overthink it too much though.
Let's say a player wants to recreate moves from their favorite NBA superstar. How does Pro Stick Rhythm Shooting do that?
Yeah, so Pro Stick Rhythm Shooting is probably one of my favorite features of the game because it's just a new way to play, new way to shoot. So in the past, it's always been the same, right? You hold a button down, release it to get your shot off. With Pro Stick Rhythm Shooting, what you want to do is you want to try and match the rhythm set point. Yeah, so Pro Stick Rhythm Shooting is probably one of my favorite features of the game because it's just a new way to play, new way to shoot.
Favorite features, but he's bouncing back and forth. New way to play, new way to shoot. Is it really, y'all? No, we can say yes, because now what he says, the difference is
shoot
is matching. Hold on. Let me say
because it's just a new way to play, new way to shoot. So in the past, it's always been the same, right? You hold a button down, release it to get your shot off. With Pro Stick Rhythm Shooting, what you want to do is you want to try and match the rhythm of the player's shot.
So you want to try to match the rhythm of the player's shot. So you're going down, and then when your player's probably getting to his release point, you got to go back up. That's it. Literally like a basic, it's easy. That's something simple. This is why he says you can't compare it. I break through the words, Mike. I don't sit and do the games. It's easy. That is something simple. It's just up to a comfortability. When you're using this stick already to do dribble moves, what do you want to have this stick to do? That's all that really is. So this is not really some type of big deep feature. It's really not. unless the new dribbling system blends and matches so well with the mechanics of this shot stick, which I don't think, because he already exposed himself saying you can't compare. Everybody's still going to use square. People going to learn the new dribbling mechanics and stuff with the new system, but everybody's still going to use square. All the comp people going to use square. You know, maybe some people, if they want to do it on a dribble pull-up or something, and they just feel it's more comfortable to pull it off and use the stick right there, that's cool too. You know, it's all types of ways you can add to your game if you could do multiple things and multitask on this controller. But
so you pull the right stick down, and when he gets to his set point, you push the right stick up in rhythm with...
You see what he's saying? When he gets down to his set point, what are they saying? Set point is basically what's your shot when he gets set to the point of shooting. Okay? And you want to match it up. So it's not just a simple down. You got to kind of wait depending on what jump shot you're using if it's slow. So trust me, that's going to be some stuff. It's going to be too new. People may try it out, you know, people may try to make it seem, oh, it's comp. I think it may be tied into with some Zens or something like that. I don't know. Hopefully they remove the Zen problem.
How he shoots in real life. So if you master rhythm shooting, you can actually be much better than someone who's a traditional regular button shooter.
Now, Mike Wayne says, you see the contradiction? Listen to this. I'm showing you I'm the master like this. I'm hot. I've been so like down, not pushing out the content how I wanted to. Like I'm hot right now. Like look. What the look, yo, listen to what he's saying and then listen to what he's saying.
You can actually be much better than someone who's a traditional regular button shooter.
You can be actually somewhat better than a person who's a traditional button shooter. Is that not what Mike said? Is rhythm shooting with the right stick going to have a bigger green window than just regular button shooting? Can we get a comparison between the two? They really can't be compared. Yo, you just said in the courtside report that somebody can be better than a traditional button shooter. That don't make sense. Which one is it? If they can't be compared, you wouldn't have said this right here. They really can't be. You wouldn't have said that in the courtside report. I mean, you wouldn't say this now. They really can't be compared because they work very differently. Because rhythm shooting takes more skill to master. There is much a higher upside for making shots. So if you're comp, you should definitely try to master rhythm shooting. Maybe he's still being secretive, not giving us the gems and trying to like. That's why I say, man, it's just like it seems like they're trying to force us to shoot differently. Make the square button weaker over time. They ain't gonna do it this year. They would never do that. But they're trying to get us to like this rhythm shooting shit. Just the shot stick, period. They're trying to get us there because they know that's gonna cut a whole gap in dribbling, shooting. It's gonna make like when you dribble. For example, I could give y'all the best. This is why I say I like my. Oh my god, I give the best gems. If you ever use the shot stick, I've tried it before and tried to dribble. Okay, use the shot stick and shoot. It's like more work. And it's like more like it's to make it easier. It's easier to just be able to dribble with this and then shoot with the X button. It's way easier. It becomes more harder like that. But when you do learn how to just, there could be some benefits in it for certain types of shots. Like when you want to just do a certain type of shot and make sure you're doing that shot the same way how people use the dunking animations and they do the same dunk animation. Whether it's the diagonal down, you know, to get the same animation. It could come to a benefit for that, but I feel like 2K's game should be good enough to where if people are just doing their controls, they're going to get the artifact. I honestly, personally don't believe it's going to be up to that hype like how he's saying. You should definitely try to match. I don't think so. No. I don't think so at all. I feel like it's when you play 2K, it's always going to come down to a person's skill, IQ, how they use the buttons themselves. You know, it's always going to come down to that type of differences, not really you using a certain stick and that's going to change. Like, no, some people just don't have good shot selection IQ, even if it's up in a video game, even if they have the good stats, they just don't. So shooting, guys, I feel like shooting is basically still the same because Mike Wayne said you can't compare them. He said it takes more skill to master. It lets me know the game still has that realistic IRL type feel to it, and we still gonna have to get used to that. It's not gonna be some arcadey type of game. I'm excited. I got more videos coming. We're gonna touch on the other topics. This was rhythm shooting. Not as what I thought it was gonna be, y'all. I'm more so thinking like it's like your player could dribble and shoot out a lot of more different stuff we was never able to shoot out of in 2K. Maybe shoot a little leaner shot out of a certain, like just have more ways to shoot certain shots out of Rhythm. But it's more so of a mechanic, a new feature they added. Like, tough. Y'all hit that like. Let me know what y'all think about this feature in the comment section below. This one, I'll give this like a 6 out of 10 because it's nothing I'm gonna really be interested in using. I could tell off the rip already. But it's like, okay, at least they're adding something new in for the people or something. Y'all hit that like, subscribe.